Hey, Monday movie fan. Wow, we
And
actually are up to date this week. We went to the movies to see Supergirl. I think we were the only five people that did, right?
yeah,
It's too new to be on the Franken list. I am Frank Gaffney. With us always, Joelle, who has a Supergirl poster. What the hell is that?
There's not a poster. This is the actual graphic novel that the current film is based off of. So,
Oh, well, we need to talk about that because I don't know how based on it was. Mark G does not have a picture up.
no.
Whoa, tits. And Goldfuck, no cringer.
It's on the windowsill.
Wait, I forgot to mention I have two dogs today. Lori
Mm.
and Matt are in New Hampshire, so I have Chloe is there,
Hi,
and
Chloe.
Aw.
Hi,
we
Sasha.
she don't care, obviously. Does she even know her name? I have no idea. And Annie King is in Bahaba in Maine visiting. All right, here's the plot. Oh, wait, Frank, why Supergirl? I don't know why. Because we really did start this group being MCU-ish,
Is it?
and uh, this kind of seemed fun for DC. Oh,
Well,
there's
we
a
we
cringe.
and we did the Supermans as well,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
first two
So, yeah,
Superman.
here we are.
Supermen.
Okay, here's the plot. A
Supermen's.
cynical, hard-drinking Supergirl reluctantly escorts a young alien girl across the galaxy on a revenge quest against the warlord who murdered her father. She didn't
And
just
mother
murder,
and brother.
Whole family.
ultimately discovering that vengeance isn't the answer. Vengeance isn't the answer.
It is just get someone else to do it.
Exactly. All right. I guess this is the thing for me. Now, at the end of Superman last year, she seemed like she was more like a train wreck Supergirl. Like it was going to be fun and still have all her problems, but be a fun, drunk party girl. That's not what this movie is.
Certainly
I
was
guess
at the beginning.
I guess I wanted it to be more Superman 1.5. But
Never was never going to be that.
yeah, so it really wasn't. And because I think, Superman believes at his core that every person is worth saving, which is lovely. But Kara has trauma, alcoholism, grief, cynicism, and revenge. Not really a very fun time. Being miserable is not the same as being interesting, right, Joel?
It depends on who's writing it
It was
or who's
interesting.
or who's miserable.
I found it very formulaic, derivative, and cliched. Every lines I could give you the line before they said it. I could tell you the plot before it happened.
Yes.
This is like True Grit, but in space. A little Mad Max thrown in.
A lot
You
of
know,
Mad Max.
yeah, it's your average revenge Western. Here's how it goes. Arrive on a planet, meet a character, fight, leave, rinse, and repeat. That's the whole movie. And Jason Momoa, sorry, he plays every scene at maximum volume. Like he was like saying, "Look, I'm the most important character here, coolest guy in the room." No, and that phallic cigar, good Lord, could it be any bigger? He was like sucking a penis there. All right, but right at the beginning, the moment the villain shoots the dog, good Lord, that's like a cinema equivalent of a lazy cliche. So now you know he's the bad guy. He shot the dog. It's disappointing.
Because you didn't know he was already the bad guy when he killed her family.
Yeah,
But now it means something.
Yeah.
No,
because he
okay.
shot the dog. I
Yeah.
don't care
And
what
you know she's
happened.
gonna save the dog just in the nick
Yeah,
of time.
Oh, sure.
don't kill the dog. Okay. And is it too much asked to have a worthy villain? He could have he's a cookie cutter. I did not appreciate it.
Pinhead.
But when she went into the fence, I thought, come out to the planet. We'll get together, have a few laughs. But on the plus side, Millie is good. I liked her a lot. Although with a name like Alcock, she really had none. And visually, it was very impressive. The production design, little Star Wars cantina thrown in there. And it definitely made Kara different from Superman, which is great. And the sister vibe between Kara and Ruthie,
Ruthie.
Ruthie.
we've seen so many times. It's sweet. And Amy's right. Boys don't want to see female superhero heroes. Captain Marvel, the Marvels, Miss Marvel, all of those, they stayed away in droves, as they did here. But it's also a complete story. I like that it wasn't a setup for the next Superman or anything. It was just, unless Lobo and his penis are getting their own movie. I don't know.
Well, they will eventually because he's Lobo.
Yeah. All right. So I'm 2.25 stars. It felt like Supergirl fell off the MCU assembly line. It's competently made, but too familiar and ultimately too forgettable for me. And even Warner Brothers were like, okay, we know it didn't do well. We didn't expect it to do well, but we're still committed to doing. I'm like, even they're apologizing for this movie. And did you like the sisterhood of it all?
I think I did. It's hard to remember.
How long ago did you see it?
It only
Oh,
came out a
eight
week
days
ago.
8 days ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't take any notes at all, which Annie, being that we owned the theater that day, we really could have sat there with our notebooks
Oh
and
my
a
God,
light.
I have my pad. I have my pad out.
Should have done that. So I don't have any memory of this movie. I don't remember hating it the way so many people do. And I wish I could say more. I'm sorry. I'll give it 2.5 stars.
Worst review ever.
I didn't really see it. I'm just faking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, she doesn't go to a movie. No, Annie was there. We have proof you were there.
Yeah.
Annie, did
If
you?
there's no pictures, there's no proof.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Collusion.
Right. They both didn't see it.
Yeah.
Annie, what'd you think?
Yeah,
It was fine.
at one point I think I said to Amy, "Oh, now it's getting a little too long. Like some fight scene was just
Yeah,
like,
and we had
okay,
discussed that, Annie, that it happens in every kind of movie like this. The fight scene, whatever scene, just goes on too long. Just all right already. We get it.
yeah." And I think at one point Amy said it was just like one thing. She thought there'd be more subplots, but
Annie's giving my review because, I remember saying that too. There was no subplots.
right. That it was just all about really rescuing, the dog, saving the dog in time.
And getting revenge for
Right.
Ruth. Yeah, there were two plots going on.
Yeah.
It just seems so tunnel vision.
Yeah, and I didn't like Jason Momoa character.
So wait a second here. So we're complaining about the MCU being all over the place with thousands of different subplots running at the same time. And now we're complaining about a movie where it's just one plot running the whole thing.
No, there has to be a happy medium between 2 and 1,000.
Right.
Give me 5.
And Zod coming back didn't count as another plot line. Oh wait, that was last week. Okay.
One of the things I was confused, like, was it last week when Supergirl comes and she's supposed to protect
Yes,
Superman?
the Supergirl from the Flash was older than Kal-El. So
Right.
Yeah.
But this one
is not.
Is younger.
Is not. Yeah. So I was a little confused on the age thing of
You're only confused in the sense that you're dealing with two different incarnations of the character. And that's something in the comic books. There have been like several different incarnations of the character where she's this, she's that, she's this other thing, she's,
Right.
All Annie and I know is Archie and Jughead, and all of them are always the same in every comic.
Yes, and they're always still in school.
And you didn't watch Riverdale on the CW, did you?
No.
Those were not the same Archie and Jughead.
We really should, because Annie and I were like obsessively reading those digests.
Yeah, you should watch. It was a good show for a while.
Yeah, and there's a lot of throwbacks to the comic books for sure.
Anyway, back to Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, her drunkenness got like tiring after a point.
Yeah. We get it.
I thought the the yellow planet and the green planet, where it had both, that was kind of cool,
Hmm.
Yeah.
but you knew she was going to come
Yeah, of
around as
course.
soon,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it took so long
And
for that to happen.
And with the suit, it's like, and that's like Frank said too. It was so just cliched, and you knew she's gonna have the suit on, and they played the music
Right.
like oh, big surprise, she has a suit on. Yeah, saw it
Yeah.
coming. Yeah.
It was very lazy.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they had a comic book to base it on. I need to discuss that, Joel.
Okay.
All right. Annie King, finish your review.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with 2.75.
And I will say, as not so super girl, Mark. Marky
Well,
Mark.
yes. Number one, I have
Now,
notes to, huh?
you said you were going to agree with me, so your review is 2.25. I'm writing that down.
I'll start off with that. My review is 2.25, funnily enough. Yeah.
Okay, now moving on.
I have enough notes to make up for Amy though. And I'll preface this by saying I am not a fanboy that hates super female movies. In fact, in the last few weeks, I just rewatched Captain Marvel and the Marvels. I love it. I love characters like that. So I am very critical of this movie because it was not up to task for me. Overall, I wasn't a fan of the movie. And what's her name? Millie Alcock?
Yeah.
All cock.
Oh, Alcock, yes.
He was all cock.
She was Alcock. She grew on me. She did grow on me because same thing as Annie just said. Enough with the I'm a degenerate and this and that, but she did all right. And I guess it's I guess I
No,
wrote
I
it.
did. I definitely did like her.
Yeah,
And she just needed a better movie.
agreed. And I wrote, I guess it's because I don't know the storyline at all with her being a
Right.
degenerate, drunken mess instead of an honorable hero. I just know, the Melanie Benoist in The Flash on TV, and I know Helen Slater a little bit. I mean, I don't remember it much, but I wasn't used to this. But as Joel said, it is I'm interested in hearing about the actual storyline. Um, the humor didn't really land with me, especially in the beginning. But Lobo saying "see ya tits" to her and not the abs when he gets knifed in the gut, that did make me smile. And at the very end, when Crypto comes back to life and slobbers her, and she says, "Stop! You're giving me pink eye," that actually made me laugh out loud in the theater. Um, it was way too much of a throwback to Mad Max and older cheesy comic book movies with all the leather-clad bandits and cheesy lines. I generally wasn't impressed with the fight choreo, but I did absolutely love when Supergirl trounced Krem in the desert and was just flipping over and slamming him over and over again. I love that scene. And then I was immediately incensed right afterwards when he laid there basically broken and she didn't take the antidote for Crypto. That's her entire reason for being there. I was like, this is just, he's going to escape again. He didn't, but it was just so stupid. She's super fast. She's super fast. She could crash, just whatever. In a blink of an eye, she would have had that. She could put on her neck and gone back and kicked the ass, kicked the other guy's asses too. I don't know. There were just as I just said, there were other stupid parts that pissed me off. The bar couple that tried to trick and poison her had seen how she destroyed an entire bar. They know how powerful she is. Instead of saying, "Hey, maybe can you help me get my daughter back?" They try to poison her, and we're surprised that it didn't work. And how did Kara not see that coming? You could see they're acting super shady. Oh, you're gonna be a drink? Sure, I'll take it. It was just so many bad, lazy writing. I don't know, whatever. It just was not impressive. Um, the only parts in the movie that surprised me were either how stupid shit was or Krem killing both of those parents and then the daughter. I did not see that coming. That was harsh. That was harsh. I didn't think that he was going to do that. And the unleashing of the brides in the middle of a fight with Supergirl was not only dumb, but way too underage rapey for my tastes. I don't. It just all just didn't work for me.
You know, if Mark is complaining about that.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It just I don't know. It wasn't all horrible, and I did laugh and smile a few times, but overall very meh. I didn't love Superman last year, but it had the iconic music going for it that they played throughout, and it kept
Nah.
giving me that it's Superman music. And in this, not only did they not have that music, but they had pop songs, the worst possible version of pop songs throughout. Like I get it if you're going to play pop songs for it, that's cool, but the versions that they had just seemed really bad. And playing The Middle by when she's literally in the middle was just it was too on the nose. I don't know. It could have been so much better. This would have been 2 stars for me, but because it's Superman universe, I'm going 2.25. So it is funny that we did wind up being the same stars.
And Mark, you can't have the Superman music playing in the
Yeah,
Supergirl
No.
movie.
No,
doesn't.
I didn't say that. I
It's
said that's what
awful.
Superman had going for it because I didn't love that Superman either, but it had that really kind of it got that music. And
Totally.
instead of having a different, maybe trying to get a theme song for her, they played all these pop songs, but it was the versions that they had. I just didn't like any of them.
And
I
it
don't know.
would, and to me,
Everything
it
for
was kind of lame that David Cornswet, is that his name,
yeah.
had some of the lamest dialogue in the movie. I'm like,
And he was
what?
always in a
What?
Superman suit, like he
Yeah,
and it always,
yeah.
and Joel, maybe I'm wrong here, but
You are.
probably she's Kara Zor-El.
Yes.
Wouldn't she call her cousin Kal-El? It was always Clark.
Yes. But that also that has varied throughout the years in both the comics as well as other incarnations because she would when they were on Earth together in various things, she would have to call him Clark because they were in a specific situation where they're
Sure.
disguised. So
Secret
she
identity,
tended,
of
yeah,
course.
but
But
she
this is the
tended.
two of them on a Zoom,
No, no, I understand that,
basically.
but she there's that tendency that when you start calling someone one thing, you get stuck in that way. So that's
Okay,
kind of
fair,
an irrelevant nitpick to me. So
fair. And I just got one more thing to say. Another part that bothered me was I kind of referenced it before when they were up on the hovercraft and Lobo was about to kill Krem, and Supergirl's like, "No, you can't do it. It's not honorable." And then literally 5 minutes later, kills him. It was just like, let me kill him. You can't kill him. If
Right.
you're gonna try to be noble and teach the girl not to have vengeance, and then you do it anyway 5 minutes later, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Well, I think the point there was that she didn't want Ruthie to be that person,
No,
but
but Lobo
she,
was
but
about to
she,
do it. Lobo was gonna
but
kill
she
him.
could do, but she could do that person. She could be that person. Wasn't Ruthie there?
Ruthie
no,
was dangling off the side of it, but
Yeah.
Krem was dang. Lobo had him off the side of the thing. It was gonna kill him with the sword, and she's like, "No, you can't do that. Let me do it in
Yeah.
5 minutes."
Yeah.
well, she didn't. I don't believe she knew she was going to do it in 5 minutes at that
No,
point.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
She
But
she had
then,
a turn of character at that point, and because she's trying to, I think for me, that's one of the things I really liked about the movie is she is not Clark, she is not Kal-El, she is not
Right.
Superman. She
Right.
is a
I get it.
I
very,
agree.
She's
she
gonna
is
kill.
dealing
Yep.
with a
Right.
lot of her own trauma and
Right.
guilt that she's trying to work through, and that's how it plays out.
But
Which
for me, it's the movie itself is trying to teach a lesson here to maybe all the kids watching this that, vengeance is not always the answer and this and
yeah,
that. And then at the end, it's still the answer. So I just didn't get
Right.
the whole movie. She's saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
yes, because
Anyway,
that was the point of the movie was to teach kids, to teach young girls
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
vengeance and how it's bad.
And
And
you can kill him if it's creme if he's fresh, creme fraiche.
creme fraiche.
oh, bad.
How long have you been waiting for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since he said creme, I'm like, how do I work that in? Creme fraiche.
Brulee.
So now, is the comic book this basic revenge?
Yes, I mean the basic plot of this graphic novel is essentially what you saw in the film. There are a number of changes that were made to it. For example, Lobo is not part of this story in the comic book. He felt very shoehorned in. I think you could have yanked him out of this story, made one or two
Yeah.
minor adjustments, and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
It I'm not bothered by the fact that he's in there because I know that they wanted to, you know, Jason Momoa had been talking about playing Lobo since before he was cast as Aquaman, because that's who he really wanted to play. And admittedly, for the 10 or 15 minutes that he's actually in this film, he nails that character from the comic books to a T. That is who Lobo is. He is loud, he is obnoxious, he is that. But
Well, and don't you think the studio was kind of like, we need some male energy in this movie?
well, I don't know. I don't think the studio would say that at all because honestly, at this point, and this is going to change within the next year or so, James Gunn and Peter Safran have complete and utter control over the DC studios and what they want to do with it. They're not answering to anybody at Warner Brothers. listening to what Warner Brothers has to say, but they're not going, okay, you want us to change Supergirl into a gorilla? Well, we're not going to do that. Things like that. They're the ones making the decision, and James Gunn decided from the very beginning that how this movie was going to end, that it was going to be Kara that kills Krem, because that's not what happens in the comic books. Um, but the
What
basic
happened in the comic book?
Yeah, really, Joel.
Ruthie eventually kills him. That's really what
Okay.
happens. But it's well after the story proper has finished. So,
Did the comic book that you have there come out?
oh,
In the 80s, right?
no, this is not from the 80s. This is relatively recent in time frame. Let's see. This was published in 21. So
2021.
2021.
It
It's
was
a
like
very recent.
yesterday.
Yeah. Um,
And is that what the movie's based on?
yes.
Yeah.
And it is very much, as Frank said earlier, it's very much True Grit, just rewritten for a comic book film. And for me that works. It doesn't bother me at all. Yes, it's derivative. We've seen it before, and unfortunately, I think the production design of this film specifically makes that worse because if you for example, let's see if I can find a quick picture of Krem. Because the artwork here
Should have
is,
had little post-it notes on each page.
yeah, I
Right.
don't, sorry.
You should have been prepared, Joel.
Yeah, I know.
Amy, find a picture of Krem.
Trying to find a good picture of Krem. Wait, here he is.
Well, you won.
I got him. He's this redheaded guy
Oh,
with a
he's much
Oh,
beard.
cuter.
Blech.
It looks like a devil.
Yeah. The book does not have that Mad Max look to it that you got from the movie. And I personally think that was a mistake. Because now you've got a derivative on top of a derivative. You've got True Grit now mixed with Mad Max Fury Road, which is now also adding that whole Fury Road aspect of things. Yeah. He looks like the Lex Luthor from the late 80s. Um, but
Oh, that red hair. Good Lord.
yeah. Um,
It's
you know,
Ewan McGregor.
it's you. um, he you're making him into the sleazy sex trafficker. Gives it even more of that Mad Max Fury Road kind of feel to it, and I think that kind of does a bit of a disservice to the story. Not so much that I didn't enjoy the movie. It was just this could have been better in this sense. Um, I'll agree with Mark on the music. I think that some of the music choices were a little off and odd. And that's kind of come out recently in the last couple of days in an interview in, I think it was Rolling Stone, where the director talked about that was specifically using that version of the middle in that song was a last minute decision made by James Gunn. And that's the other thing about this film is that this we've layered in this whole Mad Max vibe. We layered in the True Grit storyline, and now we're layering in, even though Craig Gillespie is the director, it really does feel like a James Gunn film. Not necessarily in a bad way, but not necessarily in a good way either. It's I was kind of expecting more of a in the MCU, the movies all tend to blend together in look and feel. You can't point to like Doctor Strange in the Mouth of in the Multiverse of Madness and say, "Oh, that's a Sam Raimi movie," as opposed to "That's an MCU movie." It fits in with the MCU. All of these movies do that in that area, and I was kind of hoping with DC that wouldn't necessarily be the case, that we'd have that feel of, okay, I'm not sure who Craig Gillespie is really, but it doesn't feel like a James Gunn film. So,
Right.
um,
But more individuality would have been fun.
yeah. But even with,
I actually just looked up how Supergirl fails the comic book, and it says The comic features a bizarre, exotic journey across unique planets and cultures, but the film relies on familiar
Yep.
and tired sci-fi tropes.
Yep. I mean, it's like you mentioned the cantina earlier as well.
Yeah.
Star Wars. The artwork in this for me looks more like stuff you'd find in like John Carter of Mars or Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers. This obviously has a different aesthetic look to it, and as I said, I think it does do the film something of a disservice. But all of that being said, I enjoyed the movie. I really liked her as Supergirl. I really liked her arc. There is a lot of trauma underneath that character that had to be worked out over the course of the film, and I think it gets there at the end when she finally returns to Earth to take up that mantle with her cousin. And
There's a
the
good backstory.
Yeah. And then it's a different backstory. And thankfully, we're going back to, her original backstory from the comic books, as opposed to what we might have gotten in Smallville or The Flash or Supergirl, which all had
1984.
slightly different things. The 84 movie has she's still from Argo City. Her parents are there and blah, blah, blah. But, and I did just rewatch that again last night. So just to have it fresh in my memory for whatever reason. But I like the movie. It's unfortunate that it's doing so badly at the box office. It's unfortunate that there is this backlash, and don't get me wrong, I think every one of your criticisms are very valid, but a lot of what I've been reading from the fandom is just honestly at this point that I'm tired of the misogynistic,
Yeah.
racist bullshit that runs through pop culture fandoms at this point. It's just like, stop being Stephen Miller and shut the fuck up already. And
It's because we're mature and sophisticated.
yes, exactly. I'm going to give this movie 3 stars because I liked
I
it.
already wrote it.
Okay, good. Uh, it at the end of the day, it does the character justice with where she's headed. It was a big risk that they were taking in making her film the second one out the gate. Um, Obviously, it's failed on a number of levels, but they're not regretting it. They're they're not changing their plans because of it. They are continuing to move forward with what they have. And as of right now, according to both James Gunn and Peter Safran, that the Ellisons who run Skydance Paramount are on board with where they're going with this. So it'll be interesting to see how that actually changes once Paramount owns Warner Brothers lock, stock, and barrel, because they
And so this next one is the Superman sequel next summer, right?
yes, Man of Tomorrow comes out next summer. And
Right.
it's, sounding good. It's going to have it's not just Superman and Supergirl. There's other superheroes that will be returning from the first Superman film, and the villains are Brainiac and Lex Luthor. So, we'll finally get to see Brainiac on the big screen, which should be interesting. Um,
Ironically, the comic book this is based on is called Woman of Tomorrow.
Correct. There,
All right,
this,
and it also says here
uh-huh.
the changes. The comic book's primary moral lesson centers on the idea that vengeance and killing won't undo her trauma, but here that undercuts that whole
Yes,
theme because she does graphically kill the villain, a
yes,
choice that completely contradicts the source material.
which is fine. I have no problem with source
It
material being
wasn't
changed.
vengeance. It wasn't really for her.
Correct.
Mhm.
She wasn't on a kick for vengeance at the end of the day. She killed him because she knew that if she didn't, he would continue doing everything that he did. He needed to be stopped. There was no other way. And unlike Clark, she does not have, she has not developed that moral center that he has, where like the David
Yeah,
Corn sweat super, the David
because
Corn sweat
she
Superman
didn't
would
grow up with the Kents.
exactly.
Exactly. She doesn't have
Well,
Midwest family.
the Henry Cavill version of Superman grew up with the Kents, and he had no problem, snapping General Zod's neck. So,
Joel, you just made me think when you said Krem was evil and she realized that he needed to be stopped no matter what. Made me
yeah,
think of 4th of July yesterday. Okay, so where to watch? Supergirl is only in theaters, but only for like another few weeks. I'm sure it'll be on pay-per-view.
It
I
will
need to.
not be on HBO Max for at least I think Warner Brothers has a minimum 75 days after
75?
theatrical
Yeah.
release. So,
All right.
but you can watch
Next,
the 84 version is on HBO Max, so that's
I meant
definitely
to
worth.
watch it before today too, and then I forgot.
next week, Mark picked a Steven Spielberg movie, Catch Me If You Can, which is streaming on Paramount Plus. Finally, a good movie. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go to the movies.
And also with you.